From the KBIA newsroom in Columbia, I'm Harshawn Rattenpaul. Missouri lawmakers are back in Jefferson City for the 2026 legislative session, and while the first day came without fireworks, Jason Rosenbaum reports that may not last.
Missouri Republicans are hoping to pare down the state's income tax and expand school vouchers. But actually accomplishing that could be difficult, especially since Senate Democrats are still angry about debate being cut off last year on a redistricting map and a bid to ban abortion. Democratic Senator Carla May of St. Louis says Republicans shouldn't be surprised if the session doesn't go smoothly.
There's still some accountability that has to take place for the desolation of the Senate.
Lawmakers are also expected to deal with a tighter state budget, especially since state revenues are not as robust as they've been in recent years. In Jefferson City, I'm Jason Rosenbaum.
World Cup teams are picking their top choices for a base camp this week, and 3 Kansas City area facilities could be on their lists. Kansas City found out last month which countries will play in the city this summer, but is still waiting to hear whether any teams will set up their base camp there. Pam Kramer is the CEO of KC 2026, the group planning the event. She says several teams have toured the local spots, although they all have different needs.
Some teams want to be off the beaten path and out of visibility. Some teams want to be closer to off-day activities that their players and staff can be part of.
FIFA will announce base camp locations later in the spring. According to the Missouri Department of Mental Health, about 1 of every 70 Missouri children has been diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder. KBIA's Rebecca Smith has more on a tool that could be helpful for diagnosing kids in rural areas of the state.
The study tested an existing AI medical device called Canvas DX to see if it was effective in identifying and diagnosing autism in children. Dr. Kristen Sohl is a professor of pediatrics at the University of Missouri and says the tool utilizes videos and questionnaires uploaded by parents, as well as feedback from rural providers to predict a positive or negative autism diagnosis.
The idea is to build capacity so that if you live in a smaller community, you still have access to the best practices that you need or the best practices that you want to access.
Still, Sohl says the tool is not yet effective enough to reliably replace a clinician. I'm Rebecca Smith, KBIA News.
A new grant will give Kansas City medical students the opportunity to help bridge healthcare gaps in rural communities. The one-year program at Kansas City University will pair students with alumni who work in rural areas. Dr. Catherine Satterwhite says the goal is to create a pipeline from students' undergraduate studies to the start of a professional career in rural healthcare. Rural Missourians often have to travel more than twice as far for hospital care as other residents of the state. I'm Harshawn Rattenpaul, KBIA News, Columbia.